If you have been disqualified for 4 years or less, we can apply for you to be able to get your driving licence back earlier than your ban date. This can be made after 2 years of your disqualification has started and been completed. If you have been disqualified for more than 4 years, this application can be made where we would have to apply for you to get your driving licence back, but you must have, half of the time of the disqualification must have lapsed. If you have been disqualified for 10 years or more, you have to have done 5 years of that disqualification before the same application can be made. The application has to be made in writing to the court. Once the application has been made, the court will consider whether or not to list the matter for a hearing. This must be done at the court in which the disqualification was imposed. The court would require any evidence that we propose to put forward at the hearing to be detailed within that application. These, for example, could be things like employment. If you have gained employment in which you would have to drive, we can of course put that in the application. Another reason may be something to do with your family commitments. For example, if you've recently separated from your partner and need to see your children, then this also can be detailed within the application. Another example would be those of medical needs. For example, if you or a family member would benefit from being able to have your licence back, this also would need to be detailed. Of course, any reason that you give to the court in respect of any such application would need to be substantiated or backed up with any evidence that we could provide. There are of course additional reasons that can be put forward on the application, but they would also need to be backed up with some evidential basis. At the hearing, you would be required to give evidence on oath. You would testify to say that all the evidence that you are putting before the court is the truth. Then, in doing that, you would be detailing the reasons that you have put forward and providing the evidence concerned. We would, of course, make the application in writing to the court. We would then see you. We would go through the evidence that you would be providing at the hearing and talking you through all the procedures that will be taking place at the court. We would represent you during that hearing and make any submissions that need to be made to the court to give you your best opportunity to get your licence back earlier than the end of your disqualification period. Once the hearing is completed, the court will decide whether or not they're going to give you your licence back. If your application is refused, you can of course reapply, but there has to be a 3-month period which has to lapse before a renewed application can be made. If the court decides to give you your licence back, you would be able to get it back from that very day, in which case you would apply to the DVLA and retrieve your licence. At Murria Solicitors, we can help you with all of that in order to ensure that you get your licence back as early as possible.